Hello, welcome to the Mr.G podcast. This is season 3, new setup here. I'm using a phone, not using a full studio, but it still looks nice. I'm still using high quality. And today we're going to talk about the NBA draft, the 2024 NBA draft. This is the first episode of season 3. I really enjoy doing this. My apartment's located in the United States, but it's a precarious situation where some of the people that live in the building session with me. So just talking at a normal conversation level like this is a big deal. Today's Sunday, May 5th, 2024. Um, it is 12:07, and weekends I normally won't do a recording of a podcast because I don't want the distractions. I've lived here 5 years, but because I create online content, some of the individuals that live in this building think I have submitted my right to privacy. That's obviously not the case. But we're going to continue with the podcast. I'm so busy lately. I'm feeding 4 cat colonies every morning. That's taking up a lot of my time. But I really do enjoy this podcast. And even though it doesn't receive as many views as my cat feeding videos, I've been blessed with uh, not even thousands, millions of views the past week. Me and this guy here were extremely happy, me and Squeak. He's a polydactyl boy, and he's probably today, if you've guessed about the background, we're going to talk about the 2024 NBA draft. It's unlike any other draft I've ever seen, and I've been watching basketball almost 40 years. This year's draft, who you think should be the number 1 pick on other people's draft board is all the way number 12, number 13. It's all over the place. Some people would say Zach Edey, 2-time college player of the year, should be the number 1 pick because he was the best college player. He's 7'2", 7'3". Uh, but does that correspond to today's NBA basketball game? I think it was the Bleacher Report had Reed Shepherd as the number 1 pick. He was a freshman at Kentucky. He played very well in most games. I watched him play in the NCAA tournament. I don't think he played very well. And the safest pick, I would say, is also in the background. Alex Sarr, who is a 7'2", 18 or 19-year-old. He's one of the youngest players in the draft. He has great potential. He's a great shot blocker. He is able to shoot 3-pointers. And he's able to move his feet laterally very quickly, unlike Zach Edey. Sarr, originally from France, played last season in Australia, is probably the safest pick, and that's who I would say is number 1. Like I said, Reed Shepherd is projected number 1, but maybe he just had friends there. I don't think Reed Shepherd is going to be the best player. Like I said, it's all over. I could be right, I could be wrong. I'll let you know who I think the number 1 pick is. Most people have him as a lottery pick, but I haven't seen anybody that have him as the number 1 pick. And I feel he is the best player in the draft, and that is Dalton Connect from Tennessee. I saw Dalton Connect from Tennessee play both Reed Shepherd and his backcourt teammate, um, Rob Dillingham. I didn't think Rob Dillingham or Reed Shepherd played very well. I wouldn't take either of them in the lottery. The first United States point guard I would take is USC point guard Isaiah Collier. He was high on everybody's draft board at the top of the season, but USC and Bronny James did not play very well. They didn't have a good season. They didn't make the NCAA tournament. They didn't even make the NIT tournament. Bronny James was probably that wasn't even a starter. He's projected to go possibly in the second round. This is the strangest draft ever. So number 1, I have Dalton Connect of Tennessee. Nobody else has him number 1, but he is the best player, in my opinion, this draft. He has the best shot. He can shoot it. He can get off his shot very quickly. He's very athletic. He's a great wing player. I think he'll be a great 3 and D player. But he'll also be an all-star, I feel, too. I think he's the best player in the draft. Dalton Connect. And like I said, Tennessee played Kentucky in the NCAA tournament. Dalton Connect had like 40 points or something like that. Reed Shepard and his lottery pick teammate Dillingham, they barely showed up. So I don't know why Reed Shepard and Dillingham are so much higher on people's draft boards than Dalton Connect. Once again, Dalton Connect I have as the number one pick. Next, number two, Alex Sarr, the safest pick. My team is the San Antonio Spurs. They might have two lottery picks. The draft lottery is on May 25th, so we'll know where everybody picks in about 3 weeks. I hope the Spurs pick the two best players, regardless of where they pick. I hope they get Dalton Connect. I hope they get Alex Sarr. Those are my top two in the draft. Those are the two players, number one and number two. We don't know who's going to pick where, so these are just the top players in order, my opinion. So number one, Dalton Connect. Number two, Alex Sarr, 7 foot defense player. Number three, Zachary Rocher, the French player. He shot 40% from 3 point, which is extremely significant in this year's draft. Zachary Rocher, he might go number one. Uh, like I said, it's all over the place, but he'll definitely probably be in the top five. I don't think he'll drop. So number one, Dalton Connect. Number two, Alex Sarr. Number three, Zachary Rocher. And number four and number five, they can be interchanged. They're both tall European point guards that can shoot. Nikola Topic and Mattel Buzili. Buzili played in G League Unite and did very well when he was playing, when he wasn't injured. Same with Nikola Topic. Both of them are tall, long guards that have high free throw shooting percentage. It's a good sign. And I have those. That's my top five right there. Number six, I have Ron Holland. Ron Holland is an American basketball player. He's supposed to be the best defender. I think he'll do very well. Uh, he'll be a player for many years to come. Number six, I have Ron Holland. Number seven, the first big man in the draft, I have on big 7 foot 2 center Klingham. And Klingham is the first big man besides Alex Sarr to go in the draft. He's the second 7 footer. He's the first American big man, Klingham. And they won a national championship, UConn. I watched him play multiple times. He can move his feet very quickly. He's great on the defensive side. Um, he has a high field goal percentage. I think Klingham will lead the league in field goal percentage in a few years. He doesn't take 3 point shots like a lot of big men in today's NBA game, but yeah, I think he will be a great starter on a team. The first um, point guard, like I said, in the United States point guard I have is Isaiah Collier. He's a pure point guard. He's 6 foot 4. He's built like a bull. You know, he's built like a bull, or those little bulldog. He's built like a bulldog. I think he'll do very well in the NBA game. Next up, um, I have point guards that are overlooked. Um, the Ron Holmes of Dayton, I saw play. Great guard. Tyler Kolek of Marquette. Devin Carter of Providence. And then um, I'd take Zach Edey about this time as a late lottery pick. I'd take Zach Edey above Reed Shepard or Rob Dillingham because I saw Reed Shepard and Rob Dillingham play. I think they'll both be in the NBA. I don't think they'll be all stars. I don't think they'll be, uh, significant contributing role players. I think Zach Edey will continue to learn, will continue to progress. He has a great work ethic, and I can see him going top 15. But like I said, everybody's draft board is all over the place, including mine. Nobody has Dalton Connect as the number one pick, except for me. Uh, and that's what's different about mine. So we'll see how it goes. Come back in 5 years and see how right or wrong I was about my draft picks. And I have a really good history. I remember when Giannis was drafted, he was the top player in the draft that year. I've made a lot of good calls on draft picks, and look at the podcast from last year. What I said about Wemby, I was almost dead on about Wemby. Maybe I projected him a little too much. I thought he could win MVP as a rookie, but they're not going to give a rookie MVP. That's never going to happen again. but I was almost pretty accurate about how good he was. So I paid close attention to the draft prospects this year, knowing my team, the San Antonio Spurs, are going to get two high draft picks. So I've been paying a lot of attention, and I know what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching episode one of Mr.G Hawaii podcast, season three. Aloha.